Hey, how you doing? Um, just wanted to do a few knife real quick. Just got this one. I know the lighting's horrible. But this is the Emerson Combat Fighter in Stonewash. I also have the Emerson Signature Series in Cerakote. But I just got this one. He come out with a limited amount of these, and I actually like it better than the one I had. My friend from Emerson operator Steve and Kyle, which I belong to the group as well, modify for me with titanium bolsters and green G10. I actually like this better. So this has been my carry knife pretty much, and it's the sharpest Emerson I've ever gotten in my life. And it's an Emerson, what can you say? And with that, I want to move on. I could have swore I put a video up, but evidently I didn't. I guess I put it on my Strike Force combat station, but this is a handmade Joseph Rogers pattern 1. Now they run like $4.50. They're handmade. Well, I had this one specially made black. They've never made it in black. I think they've made a few since I've put this on the internet and other people have seen it, but this is the first all-black pattern 1 ever made by Joseph Rogers, and it's a black chrome or a black nickel, I believe, I'm sorry. But they knocked it out of the park with this. It's the same knife, except rather than say FS knife, it says the FS fighting knife, and their logo on the back, and they have their star and all, which they were, Star of Excellence, and their cross, which was given to them back in the 1600s. That's how old this knife company is. It's by far my favorite pattern 1. I own a original pattern 1 by them as well, and this is the one I actually carry this in my car with me. You can see the light coming off of it is beautiful. It's perfectly balanced, and like I said, I could have swore that I've done this, but it's not on here, but it's going to be now. And this comes with the original pattern 1 sheath, where you got a tight fit, and rather than the stretch things, it actually snaps. And I've kind of become friends somewhat with the guys. There are a few of the top echelon guys, I guess you might say, public relation guys. They're really great people. If you're looking for a pattern 1, I would recommend Joseph Rogers. And there's other makers out there. I have a Peter Parkinson. He does excellent work out of New Zealand. McDonald Armories does excellent work, but I really am partial to the Joseph Rogers. They're such an old company, and they are believed to be the creator of the ringed, now famed third pattern, which I have, and they actually own William Rogers as well. It's an editing group is the name of the company. Anyway, that's the official knife for Special Forces, Royal Marines. Right now, they're actually still issued this knife, but not in the pattern 1, in the pattern 3 with the ring group, and they're sterile. In other words, they have no markings on them for obvious reasons. And it's used by like 12 or 13 different Special Forces, Britain, India, I can't name them all. I know Canada issues it. And that's brand new, about $90, and it comes with a certificate of authenticity. This comes with a very handsome box certificate that it's handmade, handcrafted, one of a kind. I mean, and each one may vary a little because they are done by hand. It's not like, stamped out like bucks. They all look exactly the same. They're going to look the same, but it may be a little bit off here or there because they're hand ground, which is the uniqueness of it. This knife was put together by hand. It wasn't made in 10 minutes. And you have a serial number right here. I know you can't see it with this lighting. This is gnarled, actual gnarling, which is far more superior grip, especially when wet or covered with mud or blood. It's far better than the third pattern. The reason they switched from the first and second pattern, the only difference between the second and first is this and the Ricasso. But they went to the third pattern with this made out of an alloy, zinc alloy and aluminum, because this is brass and they needed the brass for ammunition, obviously, so during the war, and they've never went back to this. You have to have them custom made now or buy an original, which could be quite costly, probably more than just having a brand new one made. The brand new one's going to be better because it's more modern steel, even though it's the same 1075 steel as the original. You know, tempering and Rockwell hardness is far more accurate now than it was back then. So if you took this knife and put it up against an original World War II pattern one, this would definitely come out on top. So anyway, you know, I would suggest, rather than looking around, unless you're a serious collector, you know, like with me, this knife is made a lot of times for ceremonies or, you know, retirement of a commando. But I actually carry and use it, and it's scratched up. I practice with it on a board and cardboard with a shirt on I made. So I actually use this knife. So it's scratched up. I didn't buy it to admire. Like William Fairbairn, the creator of this knife, co-creator, said, they are pretty knives, but they are not jewels, they're tools. So that's my philosophy. Same with the Emerson I showed you. That's $288. I carry it every day. That's my weapon of choice for urban carry. This usually goes in the back of my cars, you know, the little pouch in the back seat where I can reach over and get it. But like I said, you know, I don't buy them to admire. I buy them to use. This is a 1/4 inch thick. And it's a 1/4 inch thick all the way down. It remains. So it's just a great knife. And that's my review on this as well. The Joseph Rogers Pattern 1. First ever all black pattern one by Joseph Rogers. Through my request, they were kind enough to do it. It usually is a 4 to 8 week wait on a handmade knife from them. This was 13 months. If you ordered it all black now, it probably wouldn't be. It was the first time they ever done it, so it was actually a 13-month wait. But like I said, it was well worth it because they knocked it out of the park. And with that, I wish you and bid you all a good night.